Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Reel Thesis Podcast. I'm your host, Shalini, and today I am joined by actor and musician Jerome Gerard. And we have a very special episode today because today we are talking about the film Project Hail Mary. We ended up seeing it last night here in New York. We saw a 4 p.m. show, and it drops today. So we thought we would actually just do a hot take on the film because it's brand new on the scene.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really interested to hear what you thought of this film because I think we have divergent views.
Yeah, I think we have divergent views. For those who don't know, the film is about this guy named Ryland Grace, who's played by Ryan Gosling, and he's basically recruited to go to space on what is like basically a one-way trip into space because there is so complicated to explain, but basically there is this particle that is killing the sun and dimming the sun, and the scientists have found out that there is one sun. It's affecting all the suns in the universe, but there's one sun that's not being affected. So they send these 3 people into space to basically find out what this one sun has going on that is protecting it from this material called astrophage that is dimming it. So the story is basically about Dr. Ryland Grace's journey, one-way journey. He ends up being alone on the ship because people he travels with die. So he's alone in space trying to go to this planet Tau Ceti. And when he reaches Tau Ceti, he encounters an alien whom he calls Rocky, and he realizes the alien is on a very similar mission to gather information, and they join forces to basically figure out why this planet is not, like, why astrophage isn't affecting this planet. Yeah, do I need to go into more detail?
No, that's a perfect description, I think. Obviously, the film is shot, and also the book is anachronistically. I mean, it's filmed and told out of order.
Oh.
Yeah. So they had the same structure to the book that they had to the film.
Oh.
Where you wake up and he doesn't know who he is, where he is, what he's doing there. And he kind of like discovers it as it goes. And he has these flashbacks, back in time where he's, yeah, like because he's a school teacher, so he's like teaching his kids, and then he's like recruited because he's also an astrophysicist to help with the project, and and so on.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's like we learn about this because they have a lot of exposition in which he's teaching these complex ideas about what's happening in their planet and their universe.
Yeah,
to the kids.
It helps that he's like an elementary teacher because he teaches in a very simple way.
Yeah.
So it helps because
it explains that
people don't understand science mostly. I don't understand a lot of science, but
I don't either. I actually had to look up if like the Petrova line astrophage and stuff they mentioned in the film is real, and I was like, oh no, it's not.
Yeah.
The planet Tau Ceti is real, but not the rest. Yeah. Do you want to do hot takes?
Yeah, let's do hot takes.
Okay.
I feel that my hot take is that Ryan Gosling is okay, but someone else could have been better in this role.
Wow. Did you like the film?
I did. I enjoyed it. I appreciated it, but I also felt like it could have been more.
Yeah.
I really felt like if you had a different director and a different star, like I just kept thinking of obviously everything goes back to the standard set by Stanley Kubrick in 2001, A Space Odyssey, right?
Yeah, my gosh.
You saw that, right?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And just what they were able to accomplish and the scenes they did, and that's actually something I will go into in the editing and filming. But yeah, that's my hot take. Is basically, it's a good film. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it could have been better.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So do you think that Stanley Kubrick's 2001 film is kind of like, I really don't know. Is that like the first space film and like the first film that kind of defined how space looks on film?
Yeah, I mean, it set a standard. Because before that, it was all like what they say, serial space adventures. With these huge people big helmets and
right.
just goofy stuff.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, there was some people doing some interesting things, but you know what he did with 2001. People still think that he filmed the moon landings because of that.
I know. It's like I thought that was such a stupid idea until I saw the film and I was like, oh my God, is the moon landing real? I know it is, but still, I'm I get it. I totally understand.
Yeah.
It's so funny because this movie made me think of a lot of other films. It made me think of Ad Astra with Brad Pitt. It made me think of The Martian. It made me think of Gravity. I felt like there were so many, not elements.
Did it make you think of that one with McConaughey? Remember that one?
Interstellar?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never seen Interstellar.
Oh, you never saw it? Okay.
That's why I distinctly didn't mention it. But it was so interesting because 2001 Space Odyssey. Oh my God, is that the name?
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't come up on my mind. I think I had the exact opposite reaction of you. It's like I think I found myself just a little bit bored in the film. It was good. It was entertaining. It was long. It was over 2 hours. So at no point was I looking at the clock being like, what's happening? But it just kind of felt like a little space romp. And I have to say the thing that I probably enjoyed the most was Ryan Gosling. It was good. Like, it's not a film that I would see. To me, the standard is like, I would pay a lot of money to see it on IMAX. And the other end of the scale is like, I would watch it on a plane. So like, it's definitely much better than a film. Like, I wouldn't just watch this on the plane.
No,
we didn't see it in IMAX, and I was perfectly fine with that, actually. At no point was I like, I wish
it was
I
70
saw this.
millimeter, so which is the standard is 35 millimeter.
Oh, so it
was bigger than
it was bigger, yeah. I mean, it was beautiful. Like, I can imagine how beautiful it would have been in IMAX, but like, I didn't feel like I missed that experience. I
no, definitely, yeah. And there were some beautiful shots, I think. Like, and I think one thing that I forget the author's name because it's the same
Andy
author,
Weir.
Andy Weir, who wrote The Martian and also wrote this. Is he does these very like, what is it called? Like people that know what they're doing and they do things really well.
Like really adept characters.
Yeah, but anyone that we just love as humans. We love seeing someone that knows what they're doing and they do it really well.
Yeah,
I think they say it's. The lingo is competence porn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah. And so you see these people like try to decipher what's going on and like using like all the tools of science to figure this out. And so in that sense, you're kind of you're like, like this is it's a very satisfying thing to see someone who knows what they're doing and they come across a problem and they can figure it out, and it's the same it's a very similar kind of pattern to The Martian, I think, in that sense, but he does it very well, and it makes you just like I feel like want to be a scientist to some degree.
Well, it's interesting because they're like, oh, we're gonna send a group of people to Tau Ceti, and he's freaking out about the logistics, and the agent who has recruited him, Agent Strata, is just like, I'm going to stop you right there. Like, we're not worried about these logistics. Like, they're so competent because they've already figured out that astrophage can provide enough fuel to get them to Tau Ceti. So it was like all these really things that I think in past movies would have been obstacles are things that are very easily figured out here.
Yeah, they go. They do actually go a bit more into detail of like the actual like how they're going to get there, because they're like the dilemma is like, well, we don't know how to put people into hypersleep or whatever they do, and so like, what if they're awake for that whole time? Like, they'll basically go crazy, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we have to find people that won't go crazy, or put them into this hypersleep and hope for the best, Right. And as we see in the film, like two out of three of them die. Because of that procedure. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that explains it.
Yeah.
That was a weird thing to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were a bit bored in the film.
I was a bit bored, and I don't know why. Okay. Yeah.
Do you feel that because I feel like, is it because in that sense it's kind of a dad film, in the sense of like, this guy, he's talented and he's got a set of problems and he's just going to go forward with them, and there's not like dramatic progression and still until like maybe the very end.
At one point I actually asked you what time it was, and it was about 2 hours into the film, and that's when I was like, okay, now I feel like the drama is kicking in a bit. Like, to me, I didn't care about the stakes, because this is a one-way mission. It takes 11 years to get to Tau Ceti. And so they have no hope of getting out to Tau Ceti and back. So there's that aspect. And I'm like he's either going to magically find a way home, or he's going to die, but he also knows this. Like, I actually think it would have been more impactful if he somehow didn't think, like he thought he was coming home and then he couldn't. Like, to me, there were just no stakes. And there's going to be spoilers, sorry guys. But at some point, like, Rocky is like, oh, I'll give you some astrophage to get home. And it's like, and he cries, and it's such a like emotional part of the film. And I'm like, okay, like that's exactly what you thought would happen. Or he makes peace but not going home. Like, it didn't care about the stakes. It takes 11 years for him to get to Tau Ceti, but the Agent Strata, was like, the Earth is going to be cooled in 30 years. And it's just like, the math isn't mathing enough for me, because I'm like, are we going to be able? And then who knows how long he sends the information and the research back in a probe.
Right.
And then the probe reaches, and when it reaches the agent, we see that the Earth is already cooled and it's already become like Arctic. And she's like, all right, let's get to work.
I didn't even pick up on that. That's why they had a ship going through
exactly.
all the ice.
The idea was that she was on the same ship as before, but now the oceans have frozen.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, let's get to work. But I'm like, the math is not mathing. Like, she should have, I don't know. It just was like, okay, we're going to solve this problem in like less than 20 years. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
I didn't feel the drama of it at all.
Well, Did you watch The Martian?
I did. I love The Martian.
Okay. So you felt more drama in there.
Yeah. I was so engaged with The Martian. And I actually was contemplating this because I don't remember all the details, but I was like, why did The Martian really hit with me? And
it's because he was actually not just trying to survive, but trying to get home.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And this thing, it's like the stakes are so huge. Maybe it's hard to put it in a scale or something.
Yeah, I think so. And like another movie that came to mind was like Armageddon, which felt like it's the urgency. It's the time urgency. It's like the span. Like, that was what was missing for me. And he's like, I got enough food to last me 2 years and then I'll die. And it's like, where's the urgency in this? Like, I'm not sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very
true. It was
fun.
Okay. Yeah. The reason I found it interesting enough was that it felt like a buddy film in space, and I liked that.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that.
And I think like part of the joy of the book is like he comes across this alien species, and it's like, okay, how do you communicate with an alien species? You have like, and basically what he uses science. Like they use the molecular compounds.
Oh, cool.
And they just try and like figure out like the simplest things that, aliens and you would be able to come. And so that process is really fun.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, the Rocky character is pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the alien?
Well, it's just so interesting. Like, there's always a question of how is the alien portrayed the way it is in the book? That was a question I had.
Sort of. I believe so. Yeah. I mean, I never had like a good understanding of like what it looked like. Yeah. I know it's described, but yeah.
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 I liked it. Like, it was cute and he's funny. And once they start communicating, like he communicates in the movie, he creates, like, Rocky will make a sound and he's like, okay, well, this is you repeating this noise. So then he puts it through the computer. So then it gets to the point that him and Rocky are just able to talk with each other. Yeah. And it was cute.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It was very cute. And they made Rocky very cute, especially like his like noises. They're very cute. Yeah. And so they definitely picked a lane. Yeah. In the sense of like, let's make this like E.T., Yeah. Like, let's make this adorable. Yeah. And they didn't go in the route of like, let's like explore like how wild would it be? Like what, I guess like let's, not make it like too foreign. Yeah. That it could be scary, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Compared to like other aliens that we see, this was not at all scary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What did you think about the like cinematography?
That's a good question. I thought it's funny. I thought the cinematography made it feel remote in the sense of like you never felt like you were like really following one person. I felt like, even though you're obviously following the main character, but because of the cinematography, it's like cut really fast and there's close-ups and then there's like, you never have a lot of shots that linger. It's cut very fast, and you don't exactly know where he is in the time frame because you're just kind of jumping, as he goes along. And so in that sense, you don't have the same feeling of just like exploring this shuttle. they disorientate you on purpose by like tilting the camera, making him like walking like oddly on odd angles at walls. And so in that sense, like they're trying to disorientate you because that's what the character is going through. But at the same time, you don't also stay with him in the shots enough that I felt like you could fully understand him and his relation to his environment, I guess.
Yeah. Wow,
And
that's such a good point. I never thought about that, but that's so true. You don't get any kind of like sense of grounding in the place.
I had no idea like which part of the space capsule he was in at times of the films,
I think I agree. Yeah. The only room you get acquainted with is like the 360 virtual reality room.
Right.
Because it's more static.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's such a good point. Yeah. And you're right. Like it works to disorient you because he feels disoriented. Like,
right. But that's why I was like made the comparison to 2001 because obviously those shots are so long.
Yeah.
So you're really like
you feel
absorbing
familiar with
what's
the
going
ship.
on.
Yeah, that's a really good
like
point.
what it would be like to live on that spacecraft.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I really love that. That's a good point.
But also, my question for you is, I've heard that a lot of films now are taking into account that their films might be cut up and viewed on TikTok and social media. And did you get a sense that they had that in mind when they were making this film at all?
That's such a good question. No. I don't this is like to me what would be a bridge. Like I could definitely see some aspects being cut up and put on TikTok, but I don't think it was made with that intention. It's like both. To me.
Yeah.
But that's a very interesting point. I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like TikTok is such a like diminished form of media. I mean, there's beautiful things on TikTok, but like it's a small screen. You're meant to watch it vertically, which is nothing against that, but like
right.
I don't know, vertical space shot doesn't seem to capture the grandiosity of it. Yeah. That's a good point.
And so you said let's go back to Ryan Gosling. You said you liked him.
Yeah.
He was the best thing in this performance for you. And
well, it's hard to say because it's like him and Agent Stroud and Carl. There's like three actors who have lines in the film.
That's very true. But at one point I thought they were going to have a romance between him and
Me too.
Yeah. And it's like, there's like weird tension, but nothing happened.
I love that there was no romance in this film. Like, to me, this was such I keep talking about like no stakes films.
Yeah.
It felt like such a no stakes film. It's like, I'm not rooting for him to get with anybody. I'm not even rooting for him to get home because he knew what this mission was. Like, I guess I should mention that like he wakes up and he doesn't remember, like he remembers things, but the memory comes back to him slowly and that's why he gets piecemeal. So I think he remembers why he's on the mission, but he doesn't remember the full story until like it comes back to him. I enjoyed, it's like to me, Ryan Gosling is it's so different from what he has done previously in his career. But since Barbie, I feel like the films that have stood out to me that he's done are like Barbie, Fall Guy, and this, and they all are like a very distinct kind of character. And like he's in this era of like being, I don't know how to describe it. Like goofy, funny, down to earth. It was really funny because he's like really cut in the film. And at one point he's making notes, like trying to remember his life. And he's like always muscles. Like he himself is like, why am I muscular? Like he doesn't remember. And like I'm enjoying it because I'm enjoying this era of Ryan Gosling.
Why he was muscular?
No, never. Other than he bikes to work. And I'm like, can you get, I mean.
But then he said it's not by choice, meaning like he makes no pay as a teacher. He made that line. It's like, this is my choice.
I thought it was like an environmental thing.
No. it's so he's a poorly paid teacher.
Yeah. I guess I'm saying I enjoy this era of Ryan Gosling, and it's nothing compared to some of the stuff he's done. I mean, he can do very interesting stuff, and I'm just enjoying this like fun era of his.
Yeah,
but
he's very fun.
He's fun.
Yeah,
but I will say I did have moments where I was like, "Well, this film would be different with a different actor," and I think that's why I love The Martian because
of Matt Damon.
Yeah, like he was so. I felt like he was the only one who could have done that film.
Yeah, he brings a bit of gravity, but lightness, and humor to it.
Yeah.
And so imagine Matt Damon in this role would have been a better film.
If I'm picturing Matt Damon, I think Matt Damon has this ability to be very serious and very light and sarcastic in the same role. But the vibe I'm getting from Ryan Gosling, and there's still a lot of films I need to watch, but the vibe I'm getting from him is that he can be like one or the other.
He can't be both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't cast Matthew McConaughey in this film because that would have not been good.
No, that would not have been good. I can't, that's the thing. I can't think of another actor that I would have wanted in this without that person and their whole persona influencing the film. Like Matt Damon is a good example, but they can't put him in a second space noir film.
How'd you like the music?
I don't think I liked the music.
No?
Did you like the music?
There were some parts where I appreciated it, but I didn't stand out that much. Yeah.
Yeah. There's things I felt about the music that I was like, if you're a fan of this music, this scene is hitting really hard. But if you're not a fan, it means nothing.
Yeah, there's some elements I liked where like they made the music have kind of a story structure almost,
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a soundtrack I would go listen to. Should we move on to anything else about cinematography, filming?
Well, the colors, the colors are kind of like a very bright, I would say, kind of golden orange.
Yeah. Like
tint.
bronzing gold orange.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So very warm,
Yeah.
And that kind of helped with like establishing Rocky as like a character, as an alien you could trust. That obviously wasn't like the stark, like, blue of like the Aliens franchise.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And he has a signature yellow jacket, like a signature yellow rain jacket that he wears on Earth. And then all of their outfits that they wear are like they get all the same clothes, but they all have like yellow jackets for the space. And then his spacesuit is red. And so you're right. Like they leaned into more brighter colors for this. And I like it. Like it almost made you feel happy and positive.
True.
And
as the world is ending.
Exactly. You don't feel like doom and gloom. Like it very like positive vibes.
One thing I've heard from other people is that, well, I did get a vibe of like this was written during the pandemic.
Oh, say more.
Because think of it, like he wakes up and like he can't go outside. He's alone. He's eating like packaged food. He can watch videos of the outdoors.
Damn. Yeah, you're right. You can watch videos of the outdoors. Yeah, that's.
So I did. I did wonder. Like, I have to check, but it seemed like a very like COVID influenced film.
Yeah.
And at the same point, people mention like, is Rocky a metaphor for artificial intelligence in the sense of like, it's someone you can talk to, and it's like it's got a new type of processing and understanding the world, and like it's just you alone with this like this new friend of yours,
Yeah. That's a great question. It leads into a theme that I was thinking with this film, which I'm kind of going on a tangent, but it is related. So I liked that at the beginning of the film, they sort of draw a parallel to Darwinism and evolution, because in the class, a student raises their hand and they're like, oh, tell us about the dots, which the dots are the astrophage, and it's like the thing that's affecting the sun. And his answer is, you should ask your parents, and depending on where they stand in their beliefs, they will answer you. And I was like, that is such an interesting parallel to evolution. And when evolution came on the scene, because it was such a remarkable idea. And that's a theme in the movie of like challenging scientific ideas, because he's recruited because he challenged the top scientists in his field of molecular biology. He said, you don't need water for life to exist. He basically is a disgraced biologist, and that's why he's a middle school teacher.
Right.
So to me, there is a theme of, it sounds so stupid, but it's like challenging science, or it's a theme of like basically moving away from the status quo, or like just reimagining things the way they are and the way they could be. And, you mentioned that Rocky could have been a metaphor for AI. And I think it's like, at least at the time the book was written, it was probably, I guess I'm trying to tie it into this idea, but it's like the way we imagine the world and the way that scientific progression has gone is kind of just changing at a very erratic rate. And I don't know what I'm trying to say with this.
Well, yeah. I think the movie could be taken in two ways. Like if it's taken in a way of like, we don't need we can just like have our own little capsules and like and go inward. That I think is not as healthy, but if we take it as we can explore and like we can use these techniques to our scientific understanding to explore new parts of the universe, basically new cultures, whatever, new species, and alien oceans.
So like looking at it through the lens of like Rocky being a metaphor for AI, it's like we can shy away from this or we can embrace this and really expand our capabilities.
Yeah, if it's going outward in the sense of like exploring new parts of like what we have not been able to communicate with. We like, for example, like we don't even like really know how to communicate with like animals.
Well, that and also we don't. I love the fact that our oceans are mostly unexplored.
Yeah, exactly.
It thrills me.
Yeah,
I love that.
I mean, go ahead.
Like, okay, so I had this idea that the film was really likening humans to an animal. Like we are the lesser evolved species, and there's a few reasons why I thought that. And one reason was, Rocky creates a tunnel from his spaceship to Grace's spaceship, and then Rocky puts up a glass. And it's like, that's how we would treat an animal. First, like Rocky is like, Grace sees the spaceship and he runs, and then Rocky's spaceship just keeps following him. I'm like, yeah, that's how animals act with humans. Like they run away from us and we keep following them being like, it's okay. It's okay. And then he throws a like object at it and it just bounces off the ship, and then he throws it slower and Grace is like, oh, he just thinks I'm stupid. And then Rocky puts up a glass, and then at one point they're playing a pointing game and Grace is like, oh, he's cute, he knows how to point, and Rocky's like, no, I'm just pointing at something over there. So there's this idea of like Rocky is the higher intelligent species and he's an engineer and Grace is a scientist, so they have like different strengths that they're bringing to solving this problem. But it definitely, there's a lot of times where Rocky is like, oh, let's try this. And Grace is like, oh, I didn't think about this. And it made me really feel like we were the lesser intelligent species. And at the end, towards the end, I was like, oh my gosh, is he going to bring Rocky back? Or when you think Rocky's going to die, it's like, is he going to bring Rocky's body back? And they're going to examine it. And what happens is that he is brought back to a different planet.
Yeah. I really
put in like a glass cage, and it's beautiful. I love it. But I was like, oh my gosh, like I just kept thinking of this like evolution thing, and we think that we're like at the height of evolution, but really the film is kind of low-key saying that this alien species is far more evolved than us, and we are the like animals in this, like very evolved animals. They have very equal relationship. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Well,
let me ask you this: spoilers? There's a scene in the film where Rocky kind of sacrifices him. He tries. He has to like. Their two atmospheres are poisonous to each other. So Rocky's would be poisonous to Grace, and our human atmosphere is poisonous to Rocky. And at one point, he has to go into the other atmosphere to try and save. Were you scared that Rocky might not make it?
Yeah, I actually thought Rocky died. I wrote in my notes because I was taking notes. I was like, Rocky dies. I don't know why. Because he doesn't. And then when he came back, I was like, of course the little sucker made it. But yeah, I thought he died.
Were you sad about that?
I hate to say no, but that was the point in the film that I was like, okay, is he going to just make it back now and take Rocky's body and make a memoriam to him? Like I didn't know.
A memoriam to Rocky?
Yeah. I didn't know. That was the point where I was like, he's going to study Rocky now. But
yeah, that'd be a dark ending.
It would be dark. Yeah, because yeah.
I'm glad how the way they ended it with basically, as you said, them making a little like enclosure for Grace and him going back.
Yeah, Rocky's planet creates a like biodome for Grace, and it's like it's emulating like his our beautiful rocky foggy beach, and Rocky's able to be in a little mobile.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, spoilers all around. I think we've already spoiled a lot. And then Dr. Grace becomes a scientist to like little aliens, which is so cute.
Yeah,
I love that.
That was obviously really cute.
Yeah,
almost like a Jim Henson moment at the end.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, I don't know how much was practical and how much was CGI, but they did have like an actual puppet. I think.
Oh, cute.
I don't know which parts were which though.
Yeah,
but yeah.
That's interesting.
Did you feel like? Did you feel that Rocky was a physical being? Like, did you think, or did it seem CGI at all to you?
Oh, no, it didn't seem CGI, but I feel like a movie that comes out now, like, I feel like you can't tell CGI. I mean, sometimes you can, but Yeah, no, I didn't feel it. I felt like he was very real. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't stand out to me. Something else that I thought stood out to me was just how long science takes. Yeah.
That's a funny take. Hot take over here.
I know.
Science is boring and long.
Science is long, but I think the point, like they realize they're on the same mission, and he's like, okay, first we need to figure out how to communicate with each other, and then they figure out how to communicate with each other, and that takes that's a whole several scenes in and of itself. That's a whole thing. And
it's much faster than in the book, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. But I think my point is like, I mean, granted, yeah, like I guess they just have all the time in the world, but I was like, if you think about it, every single one of these things takes a long time.
Yeah. It's like, meanwhile, Earth is like...
Yeah, like Earth is just like, and at this point, if it takes 11 years to get to Tau Ceti, like, it's even more time. That's what I'm saying. It's like they want to solve this problem in less than 20 years. Like, yeah, but if it, every single aspect of it, and then they create like a tunnel through the spaceship so Rocky can move throughout the tunnel and communicate with Grace. And it's like, all of this stuff would have taken so much time. Like, everything, every aspect of it.
Well, that was, I guess, the magical realism of his alien technology, right?
That's true. That's true. But then they have Dr. Grace assembling it, but Rocky would have also made the glass. I don't know. It was science takes a long time. Oh, you mean
like where he makes the glass so he can come into the ship?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I kept thinking like, wow, like science, they're running through it in a film, but there were so many aspects to it. And I guess that's what I mean by there wasn't an urgency, but it really drove home this idea that science and scientific thought and experiment and all of it just takes a long time. And it's not something that's quick. And you can have, going back to the evolution comment, like you can, like Darwin dropped this evolution idea, but it did take a long time for him to research and put it together and get to that point. What did you think of the whole bravery thing?
Oh, when he teaches him the word?
No, it was more like this, like that was like an inner character growth where he, like, I don't know. Okay, so the three through lines are, he's recruited by Agent Strata. He determines that astrophage is a living organism. And then Agent Strata is like, okay, thank you. And he's like, well, don't you want me to work on this? And she's like, I have hundreds of other scientists. I'm not going to tell you you're special. Like, you need to stand up and say you're going to do this. And he was like, okay, like, I'll do it. And then she was like, we need you. There's an explosion. It kills all the scientists who've been working on it. He's the only one who has the knowledge and prepared to go at that point. So she's like, I need you to go. And he, spoiler alert, but he refuses to go. So he's like forcibly put into a coma and he doesn't realize this till the end. And then at the very end, he has a choice to go back to Earth. And instead of going back to Earth, he decides to go save Rocky. So it's like this through line of like needing to be brave.
Well, I think though they drive also the point that he has no one. And that and then remember the other, it says it's not about being brave. It's about, what you do to save someone else. And he never had anyone. Therefore, he wasn't brave.
Oh, that's a great, But
then once he had this friendship, this bond with Rocky, then he had someone and then he could be brave.
Oh,
and
like that.
That's the whole point of that.
Oh, I love that. I missed that point. Yeah. What do you think of his friendship with Rocky?
I mean, I thought it was very fun in the sense of like they make it into like a kind of somewhat very fun, friendly, a bit hostile roommate situation.
Yeah, I did like that. I like that it was like
because Rocky doesn't see, has no eyes, and everything is through vibrations and sound. So there's like no privacy basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was a really funny point.
I did like their bond. I think I think Ryan Gosling really did a good job, acting opposite, because that's got to be hard, to always like
and that's like the majority of the film.
Yeah, exactly. Him opposite something that may or may not be there, depending if it was CGI or practical. I'm sure they had something for him to look at,
Yeah.
But
But still, no, that's good acting on his part.
Yeah. And would you like to see further adventures of this scientist in space?
I would.
Yeah.
That's almost what I felt like they were setting it up as. I don't know why I felt like we're going to get a sequel of this in which it's him.
I know. I was kind of like, I was like, don't go back to Earth, man. Just keep going. Just keep exploring,
Yeah. I don't say it had Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, but I'm like, go on some other adventures, guys. I want to see this.
I say save other planets. I'm sure there's other
Yeah.
because that's the thing. If there's one planet, if there's another planet that has evolved to have the same technology, there must be more than just one, right?
Yeah.
Can't just be two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And their technology is cool. I like that they challenge the idea of what aliens can do because they have like xenonite, which on Earth is a gas, but on their planet it's a solid. And so it was just really cool to like change this conception of not that they're advanced, but they live in a different world because these matters have different states of being.
But that the actual fundamental building blocks are almost like our language.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they communicated at first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I will say, I don't know how much I liked the nonlinear storyline.
Going back and forth and forth.
Yeah, like I get why you do it. And it all leads up to this. Like the climax moment is when he finally remembers that he never volunteered to go for this. He was forced into this. And I didn't like the flashbacks because the flashbacks.
Do they stop the momentum, do you feel?
Yeah. I feel like the flashbacks have to sort of be on the same through line as what's happening in the film. And it didn't.
Sometimes it did.
Sometimes it did. Yeah. Sometimes it didn't. But it took me out of both. Like I was just kind of excited to go. I get why they did it. I think it would have been boring just to be on the spaceship the whole time. So I'm glad it followed the book. But I wasn't able to really get a lot from the flashbacks because that was chopped up. I think I was more invested in the present day story. But I think the thing that annoyed me the most is that the trailer really made the film seem like he is this chosen guy who doesn't want to. Like the movie just was not what I thought it was going to be. Like I knew that he encountered an alien, but I was expecting a more linear storytelling where like half the movie is him just being talked into going on this trip. And then it ends up being successful in the way that he meets an alien. So the movie was just not at all what I thought. And the scene that I think is heavily featured in the trailer is like, it's a major plot point, but it's basically like him refusing to go or just being like, I'm not the person for you. And it happens towards the end of the film.
It's funny, because like, I thought that was a weird thing because obviously he knows a lot about the subject matter, but like astronauts are trained so that they'll do exactly what they're told to do. And their own life is not their main priority, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously if you're not trained that way, then your life is kind of your main priority.
Yeah, exactly. And it was funny. It was a funny moment in the film for sure. It played for laughs, like him running away. And it annoyed me that it was marketed that way more than anything. I didn't mind that the story ended up being what it was, but I hated that the trailer made it seem like half the fun of the film is just him being like, I am not your guy. But it wasn't part of the plot at all.
Yeah. How'd you like his relationship with that agent, Carter?
I liked it. Yeah. I liked that it was a very nondescript relationship. And there was a moment where you think they're going to have a romance and not really. And
sorry, not Carter. The other guy.
Strata. Oh, Carl.
Carl.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Carl. That was cute. It was funny. Yeah, they're like buddies together.
Basically buddies. Yeah, the whole film is just buddies, you know?
Yeah, it was just buddies.
And the funny thing is that it's not a military film. Like, obviously, the idea is that all the worlds are working together.
Yeah.
And in this kind of like political day and age, like that is such a wonderful science fiction fantasy idea.
Yeah,
that worlds are all working together.
They're all working together. It's all these like experts from all these different countries at a table.
And that's like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Like it's a nice relief from what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. You know? I agree.
And just imagine like all the best minds, all people are just working together for a common good of saving the earth.
Exactly.
You know?
That's why I call it a no stakes film because the issue in the film is not something, knock on wood, that exists in real life. And like, it was just, there's no stakes. Like it wasn't a fantasy world. It's set in our world, but there was no stakes. And it was like, I don't have to think about parallels to our world. I don't have to think about, it just felt really foreign in that way, but I could also detach and just enjoy it for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did appreciate that. And because, as I said, it's not militaristic, it's all scientists, and like scientists are goofy nerds, basically.
Yeah.
You know? So
everyone was really attractive for a scientist. And that didn't bother me. But the thing that bothered me is that they did this thing where they had him wear glasses. And it's like, I'm a nerd because I wear glasses.
Exactly.
And I was like, haven't we moved past this? Like, can't he just be
a nerd without wearing glasses?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why do we use glasses as a trope for a nerd, as an explanation for a nerd? And I don't know, it was weird. Because he wears them sometimes. And he wears them for reasons, but
his whole like what he wore, like how he like carried himself, you know, like he really was like pushing into that goofy nerdiness, kind of like
It worked for him.
Yeah.
Acting wise, I think 100% worked for him. I think the things that didn't work for me is like his physique in a way.
Yeah, he was way too cut.
He's so cut. And there was one point that I was like, oh, I kind of wish he had like a beer belly. Or maybe not him, just like I would have been fine with someone who
spent 3 months just eating ice cream and
like I actually didn't need him in this film. Like he's great in it, but I could have taken a less conventionally attractive or less universally attractive actor, and I would have been just as fine if the acting was good.
Yeah.
Like him being attractive, like,
That's a good thing.
It just kind of subconsciously confuses
maybe
you.
someone, but that's the whole idea, is that people will see this film that wouldn't see this film.
I mean, that's 100% true. I saw it because of him. Because I did get Fall Guy vibes, and I loved Fall Guys.
Okay.
So
well, then
it worked.
It worked. Yeah,
it worked. It worked. But there were moments in the film, especially because they kind of made a joke about him being muscular, and I was like, yeah, why is he muscular? And why is he muscular in space? I don't get it.
Yeah, the atrophy, that didn't make sense. Like if you're like in a coma for 10 years, 11 years.
Yeah,
like,
but then you're also not aging. So maybe your body is frozen.
I forget how that works.
Yeah. I don't know. It worked, but.
Would you recommend the film to other people?
That's a great question. This is where I land. I don't think you need to see it in theaters.
Yeah.
But it's worth renting for a movie night.
Interesting.
What about you?
How many marsupials or kangaroos would you give it? Or how many Rockies?
How many Rockies?
Yeah, 1 to 10 Rockies. How many Rockies?
It was a 1 to 10. Damn. Okay. 1 to 10 Rockies. It's like a solid 6 for me.
Solid 6
I definitely
Rockies.
enjoyed it more than I didn't like it. It's not a movie I think I would watch again. Yeah, it's not a movie I think I would watch again. I very much enjoyed it while watching it. It was a good romp.
Yeah, I just like the subject matter. I like science. I like the hope that it gives, the hope of like, let's all like work together. Let's just use our brilliance and our minds. And especially let's work with aliens,
Yeah.
That is a great idea, because like we've never had a film like that.
Yeah.
And obviously it's based on the book and the ideas from the book, but we've never had a film where like a human and an alien species like use their scientific knowledge to work together. And I think that uniqueness is cool.
Yeah.
So, and I did enjoy, as I said, I enjoyed the film. So I'll give it a solid 7 Rockies.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I do like that thought. I like that thought of working together as species. It felt like it was changing the tone of the way space films have been in that way, and introducing us to this idea that like we can do things differently, and and we can embrace like this, this new world. Yeah. Anyway, any other thoughts?
No, I think that's it.
I think that's it for me too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this cover. Go see Project Hail Mary if you want to watch more of it, or read the book by Andy Weir, and we will see you next time.